What up, brawlers? Welcome back to Throwing Hands. It's me, it's Jarrett. Not the best mic quality from either of us today, but it is what it is. We got to get the episode out. Jarrett and I have literally been talking about this card for months, and we don't.
Well,
I don't know the last time I talked about a card for months. But Jarrett, how are you feeling about this one?
dude, this is one of the best cards the UFC has ever put together. Me and you were talking about a couple prelims, and then the main card is ridiculous. It's overall, it's doesn't get better than this. Honestly, the last
Yeah,
one that I can think of was the Madison Square Garden one, the first time they were in MSG. That
yeah,
one was really good.
this is
That's
as
probably,
good.
yeah, this is as good, if not better than that, for
Yeah,
sure.
this is as good as it gets, guys. So I'm gonna share my screen real quick. We're gonna hop right into it. Um, so we'll be previewing everything from Duplessis and Brunson up, but I'm just gonna highlight a couple of things you should look out for. Uh, Damon Blackshare versus Farid Basharat. That's a solid fight. Jessica Penne, Tabitha Ricci. If you're a women's MMA fan, I would look out for that one. Ian Machado Gary versus Song Kanan. Good fight there. Gary, for me, he still has some stuff to prove, but he's a very solid fighter. Um, Julian Marquez throwing hands on him. He's been on the show. Check it out. Let's hope he gets the dub. And then solid flyweight bout here with Amanda Ribas and Viviane Araújo. But we're going to start with Derek Brunson versus Dracus Duplessis. Um, Duplessis coming off a beat down of Darren Till. That broke my heart. I think it's time to talk about it. Darren Till has since been released from the UFC. Mr. Till asked for it. I think it's a good thing for him, Jarrett.
Yeah, absolutely. Coming off of, how long was that break? Coming off of a huge break, um, taking some time off, and then coming in and just looked flat. It didn't go his way. Uh, Drake is up and coming. He's 4-0 in the UFC. He submitted Darren Till unanimous decision over Brad Tavares, TKO over Traven Giles. Um, it was a tough opponent to come back to. Did not go his way at all. Didn't look like the training with Hamzat was going where anyone thought it was going to be. Looked a little bit flat on the mat, even though he did get a takedown or two against Duplessis. It is. I agree with you. It's good for him to step away for a little bit more.
Yeah, they're still cool according to Darren Till, so he'll probably be back. But this is the fight at hand. Derek Brunson has a long layoff for this guy too.
Oh,
He took about a little over a year off since the
yeah,
Cannonier fight, and you can't blame him. He got wrecked pretty badly. And Henry Hooft had to throw in the towel, which you don't see as often as you should, in my opinion. But you know, props to this team. But this is a great test for Duplessis and a great chance for Brunson to get back into it. It'll be an
yeah,
interesting grappling match for sure. But I think on the feet, Duplessis probably has a little bit of better skill. But
yeah.
they both can contend with each other's strengths. I think that's the solid way to put this matchup.
Absolutely. I think out of the three main ones, I think Duplessis' weakness, if any, is wrestling. I mean, Till did get a takedown or two on him. Brunson has had 23 takedowns in his last six fights, from what I was seeing. So, if Brunson goes out and tries to exploit that, I don't necessarily know if that will be a difference maker because I think Duplessis is so much better at grappling than him. But I agree with you. This is a big chance for Brunson to come back. We don't know what the chin's going to be like coming off of a knockout. You never know how
And
any.
at 40, pretty much.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. The age is a big factor. Almost 10 years, or a little bit 10 years on older than Duplessis. So who knows how Derek Brunson's going to show up? If it's him at the height of his career, or if he's fighting like he did 4 or 5 years ago, like has a little bit more power, this could go a completely different way than what I think it's going to go. I do
Yeah,
think Duplessis gets it done. I think he gets it done by KO,
yeah.
honestly.
I think Duplessis gets it done. I'm going by submission. I think we both agree he'll finish the fight, but
Yeah,
Derek Brunson, man, he always finds a way to get some work done. But
make it interesting.
yeah, exactly. Cody Garbrandt versus Trevin Jones. Trevin Jones is a beast, man. But Cody Garbrandt, the best fighter ever, is him when he beat Dominic Cruz. There's no better fighter to ever live. that is the best fighter to ever live, Cody Garbrandt, when he beat Dominic Cruz. However, he has been on a horrible skid. His only win in the past 5 or 6, I believe, is Rafael Assunção when he knocked him out cold. But, he's really only lost to the best. Dillashaw twice, Rob Font, Kai Kara-France. He's lost to the best, but Trevin Jones is a dog, man. I know the record doesn't show it, but he's a dog. I do think Cody Garbrandt can get it done, but I need to see him use his wrestling.
Yeah, absolutely. I definitely think this is a type of fight where Cody cannot go out and try and get the finish necessarily, because I think once he tries to get that knockout, he opens himself up, like we've seen, to get put out. And I think even though we haven't seen it, he only has 3 knockouts in 22 career fights. He's never gotten KO'd, so I don't think that this is an opportunity for Cody to go out and swing. I think this is a fight where Cody has to take it to the judges, go out, score points, fight a smart fight, and get this done by a scorecard just to get his, balance back, get his feet under him again.
Yeah, Cody Garbrandt can't afford to swing and bang in this fight. I'm gonna go Cody by decision. I really hope he gets it done.
Yeah. I agree with you. I have a feeling that he should go for the decision, even though I don't necessarily want to see that. But I just want Cody to go out and have a good fight,
If Cody loses, he should seriously consider putting the gloves in the octagon after the fight, because it's getting bad at this point.
This is a good matchup for him, and if he doesn't get this, then at that point,
100% agree. I'm gonna let you take this one away. Bo Nickel versus Jamie Pickett.
Bo Nickel by whatever he wants. No, I'm just kidding. This is a good fight for him to kick things off. Jamie Pickett, 2-4 in the UFC. 38% of his losses are by submission. The other 38 by decision. Has a couple knockout losses, but Bo Nickel's one of the best, by far one of the best prospects, up and comers that the UFC has seen in a while, if not ever. The best wrestler to ever step in the octagon. That's including Khabib, Daniel Cormier, anyone else you want to say. Bo Nickel is that guy. Could have been a world champ, world medalist if he stuck with wrestling for a couple more years. Decided to go get the big bucks on the UFC. He's getting a fast track to stardom. 100%. I think he gets it started this weekend. I'm going to say Bo Nickel by submission.
I'm going to go Bo Nickel by submission too. Although Bo Nickel's probably like a blue belt or something like that. When you have that wrestling, it doesn't really matter.
Right.
You know how to pin people and put them in a position where you want. That's the thing about wrestlers, man. It's you see these. I think you could probably attest to this, Jared. But jiu-jitsu guys, yeah, they're great, like a Damian Maia. But if you pair like jiu-jitsu up with a really good wrestler, you know how to put people where you want them. Like Ben Askren, he's a world jiu-jitsu champion, but he's a wrestler too, and I think that probably helped him. I don't know, maybe you can attest to that, but I think that's just my thought.
It does, absolutely, because it takes people so long who are just solely jiu-jitsu to get that comfortable on their feet, taking shots, instead of just pulling guard and getting comfortable in those situations where you see these I don't want to say like higher tier belt guys who go in and they're like, well, they're fighting a lower guy, but it turns out this guy's been a wrestler his whole life. It makes a lot of positions completely obsolete, where these wrestlers are completely different, conditioned in different muscle groups, have different power in different muscle groups that any other sport uses. I take the conditioning of a wrestler over the conditioning of any other mixed martial artist. And obviously I am biased, but I feel that way. Wrestling works every single muscle group, works your conditioning in a completely different way than what even jiu-jitsu does, So I think, especially with this high tier of a wrestler coming into the UFC, I've been a Bo Nickel fan since I was little, and I think he gets it done this weekend.
Yeah, for sure. I 100% agree. Ooh, I'm amped for this one too, man. I love Mateusz Gamrot. He's one of my favorite fighters. He's going up against Jalen Turner, who's a savage in his own right. This is so interesting because Jalen Turner provides so many problems
Yeah.
with length. But if Mateusz Gamrot gets to the ground, I could the only thing I could see Jalen Turner doing on the ground was maybe a triangle because of his length. But
Yeah.
Mateusz Gamrot is that dude in my opinion.
Yeah, Gamrot's one of the best offensive wrestlers in the UFC. Jalen Turner's been on a tear since his only loss in the UFC, or his last loss in the UFC, which was to Matt Frevola, which is Frivola's a wild card, man.
You don't
Frivola's a
know
wild,
what's gonna
you
happen
don't know.
with that dude.
He's like Michael Johnson.
You
He's
got to
like,
tune in to Matt Frevola, guys. I don't care what you say. He's not the
yeah,
greatest, no, but you never know what's going to happen. He knocked out Atman Azaito. I didn't expect that
yeah.
to happen.
No, neither of us did. But since that last loss to Frivola, Jalen Turner has finished every single one of his opponents inside of 2 rounds. Now, Mateusz Gamrot is a completely different animal, though. I do see him getting this done by decision, is what I feel.
Yeah. I mean, you look at all these young lightweights, like, I mean, Jalen Turner included, man, but he's going to have to move up to welterweight at some point. I can't see him at 6'3" staying down here for that long. But you look at Sarukian, a lot of the other younger guys,
Yeah.
they're coming. And
Yeah.
guys, I encourage you, if you haven't watched Gamrot versus Sarukian, watch it. It is the best grappling fight I've ever seen, probably, when it comes to MMA. It is awesome. But I'm going to go with Mateusz Gamrot by submission here. Um, but Jalen Turner is a beast, man. I wouldn't count him out.
Yeah, absolutely.
Woo.
And,
I say I'm so excited for all of these fights because I am, but this this is the hardcore's main event, in my opinion. Jeff Neal versus Shavkat Rakhmonov. I am on the Shavkat hype train through and through. This guy will be champ. You heard it here. I probably said it before, but he has everything. The wrestling, the striking, the jiu-jitsu. He has everything. Jeff Neal probably has some of the best hands in the welterweight division, but you can't throw hands when you're on the ground. That's how I look at it. Throwing hands, check it out. Great podcast. But that's just my opinion. What's your thoughts on this? This is a great matchup.
it is. And I absolutely agree with you. I think Jeff Neal said earlier this week that he feels overlooked. Well, there's a reason you're overlooked whenever your opponent's Shavkat Rakhmonov. You know, me and you both agreed with this on the, what was it, the Up and Comers episode at the beginning of the year, or
Something like that. I know.
yeah, our best prospects episode. He was on both of our lists. He was a guy who we both, and he's one of the most prolific up and comers in the UFC by even like common fans, you know, even by new fans knowledge. He's going to be around for a while. I agree with you. He's going to be a champ. I think he gets this done by submission.
Yeah, I think Shavkat subs him in the second round. I mean, I'm a Jeff Neal fan. I think he's really good. However,
John.
Shavkat, just shut up. But Shavkat Rakhmonov, people talk about Hamzat all the time when it comes to prospects. I think he's better,
Yeah.
especially when it comes to striking. Wheel kicks, he throws anything. I mean,
Yeah.
he subbed Neil Magny like it was nothing. Neil Magny's a very solid grappler. Okay, I don't know how much time we're going to spend on this, but Valentina Shevchenko versus Alexa Grasso. I've seen Grasso live after she subbed Joanne Wood. That was pretty cool. So she holds a special place in my heart because of UFC Columbus about a year ago. However, Shevchenko is her. She is so good. She could win this fight however she wants, in my opinion. Alexa Grasso's best chance is to keep it standing with her boxing. But Shevchenko might be better than her. Probably is better than her at boxing. I hate to say it, but she's so good, bro. You say what you need to say.
I completely agree with you. I agree with you on not even having to spend too much time on this. I think it's crazy to me, the odds coming out, how much Bo Nickel is favored, and you know how much Valentina is favored. For as good as a fight card it is, it's a very polarizing fight card. A lot of them have really big odds. It's just they have good opponents too. But I agree with you. Valentina gets it done by however she wants, and I just have a feeling it's going to end in a KO. It's just my.
I think Shevchenko finishes her however she wants. It doesn't matter. I love Shevchenko.
Whatever opens up first.
Yeah,
it's kind of like that.
Like Shevchenko's too quick of a striker and too straight of a striker. Grasso's a very solid fighter. Don't get me wrong, but she's not. If Shevchenko she sticks her jab out there, she's winning the fight. Grasso's gonna might have to take it to the ground. I don't know, bro. It's
Yeah.
Shevchenko's just a matchup prompt for everyone. That's but oh, oh
Good.
my gosh, John Jones versus Cyril Gane for the heavyweight title of the world. Cyril Gane, one of the best heavyweight young heavyweights we have, right? If not the best. He and Tom Aspinall will fight for a title sometime in the future. I don't know when, but it will happen. Gane is 32 years old. He, kickbox, Muay Thai world champion. There's a ton of them, but he got one of them belts. One of the most gifted, outside of Cain Velasquez, maybe, probably the most gifted heavyweight athlete of all time when it comes to pure athleticism. I mean, look up some Cyril Gane dunks. You'll know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
They're insane. Jared, I think you could agree with me. He could have played any sport he wanted professionally.
Oh, absolutely. Both of these guys. Both of these guys. I heard something how John said he wasn't a good football player, and if you guys don't know, his brother's in the NFL.
Chandler Jones.
Yeah, like of course you're gonna think you're not as good whenever your brother's in the NFL, but these guys are freak athletes, both of them. It's going to be a crazy, crazy fight to watch.
And we're not going to talk about Jones himself too much because you guys, if you want to hear that, go to the video we just posted yesterday. Great video. Went over John Jones' whole UFC career. It was a good one. But John Jones, someone put this perfectly, Jarrett, and I think you'll probably agree with me. It was, John Jones might not be able to beat your best attribute, but damn well he's going to beat your weaknesses.
Yeah.
That is a perfect way to describe him.
Yeah.
He's probably the best wrestler, and he might be the best wrestler in UFC history when it comes to MMA wrestling. DC, Askren, outside of that. But when it comes to MMA wrestling, John Jones might be the best.
Yeah.
He's not the best kickboxer, but he can sandwich you. He can do all these things.
It just attests to his fight IQ, and that's what everyone gets on. Both of us got on it yesterday. He's got probably the best fighting IQ in the history of the UFC. That's why he's able to put all of these martial arts together and become this pinnacle fighter that we've seen in the UFC for however many years. I think he keeps it up too. I just don't see it going another way this weekend.
Here's how I can see Gane winning. He's gonna have to catch him. There's no. I don't think he's gonna be John in the decision because John will eat you up in over the course of 5 rounds, especially a motivated John Jones.
Yeah.
He's gonna have to catch him within the first 2 rounds, I think. Once he gets to the third, Gane might get tired. Although he did look very good against Tuivasa, I got to give him that. But when Jones is going to hang on you, drag you down, get you tired, Jones won't finish it in the first round. I don't think he could. I'm not saying that's not going to happen. But when it comes to second and third round, Jones might just dog him. And just his mentality is so different coming into this week. And for those of you dogging on his physique, stop it. He's a heavyweight. And go look at his Instagram story because that dude he wasn't flexing. He has a 6-pack. Stop. But he's just on another level. And, he has fat to get energy from throughout the fight. He doesn't have to weight cut. He doesn't have to do all these things. So his chin might be better. His cardio might be better. There's so many different aspects of this fight where John Jones can beat Cyril Gane. Kickboxing, I wouldn't recommend kickboxing with Gane. But when it comes to wrestling, jiu-jitsu.
Yeah. I did see something earlier today though that Gane's having some hand problems.
I saw that. I think he had a hand surgery because you can see the scar going right down the middle of his hand. I think all these guys are probably going to get some form of arthritis in their hands or something like that from punching so much.
Yeah.
Or knees, when it comes to wrestling, stuff like that. So that their hands are going to look messed up probably. I think
another thing that I think is funny is like people are saying like how his physique is like he's losing that physical advantage. He still has a reach advantage in both arms and legs. Like, come on.
45-inch legs. His legs are almost 4 feet tall. That is insane. This is this is the most intriguing heavyweight matchup ever, in my opinion. It's going to be so technical. What John Jones does have to look out for is those ankle locks, because he likes to throw them. Cyril Gahn likes to throw them. I think he got Dante Mays and one other dude with him in the UFC. But John's just, I don't think there's any amount of takedown defense you can prepare for John Jones, a grappler of that level. And he was taken down by a Gaston Ngannou. I'm sorry.
That's what I was going to bring up. I don't see that.
I know it sounds like we're bowing on our, getting on our knees and praising John Jones. It's hard not to. Gone is phenomenal. I think when John Jones is gone, and maybe I'll be proven wrong Saturday. I'm not counting Cyril Gahn out like some people are. But when John Jones is gone, Cyril Gahn will probably be the champ. There's zero doubt in my mind that he will ever be, that he won't be the champ. I think he will be the champ. However, this is John Jones time, baby. Jarrett, we're going to predictions. What do you got?
I got John Jones by submission.
I got John Jones by submission in the second round. Woo.
And us.
I can't wait. Excuse me. I've talked so much today. That's what happens. Let's head to some news. Okay, Knucklemania, baby. Mike Perry and Luke Rockhold are fighting. And Eddie Alvarez and Chad Mendez are fighting at BKFC. I can't wait. I cannot wait.
Yeah, that's going to be awesome.
That's going to be wild, bro. Some Olympic wrestler just joined Bellator.
His name's Jordan Oliver.
Yes, that's who it was.
All-American or NCAA champ for Oklahoma State. Wrestled out of Bethlehem Catholic in Pennsylvania. He's a Pennsylvania guy. He's an animal. I hope he does really good in Bellator. You know, we just saw Pat Downey get rocked in Bellator, so that kind of took back a little bit on that pure wrestlers coming into MMA hype. But Jordan Oliver is a different type of guy to me personally. I think he's got the mentality to really succeed in MMA. I'm a big Jordan Oliver fan. I always have been.
Yeah, I mean, you got to feel for Jordan Oliver, though. You know, when he did the Olympic trials, he, did his thing. And then I'm pretty sure, wasn't it with wrestling? Like they had to do it again
For
Olympic trials, like when it got canceled because of COVID.
So his weight didn't qualify.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so the way Olympic wrestling works is each weight class has to have a certain amount of points to qualify for the Olympics. It's really, pardon my French, it's a really shitty system, and it screws out a lot of amazing wrestlers from getting to wrestle in the Olympics. And right there's Jordan Oliver, and he was able to compete in one of the toughest weights that we've had. He's been wrestling for the last couple of years on the international level. Zane Rutherford and Yanni Diakmahalis. Zane Rutherford, three-time national champion from Penn State, multiple-time Hodge Trophy winner. Yanni Diakmahalis going for his 4th national title this year. Like, he's wrestling the best of the best, and he just got the short end of the stick, last Olympic run.
But. Yeah. So, I can't wait to see a high-level wrestler like him get into it. Walt Harris says he finishes. John Jones finishes Gone in 2 rounds. Let's see. It's been somewhat quiet. There haven't been any big pay-per-view announcements.
No, not really.
Eddie Alvarez talked about Connor for a bit, and he thinks, what's his face?
Chandler.
He thinks Connor will beat Chandler. I think so too. I think those straight shots are going to kill Chandler.
Yeah.
Oh, we got to talk about this. Jake Paul got whooped on Saturday. On Sunday, rather. We never talked about it. See, yeah. It was a split decision. Stop it. It was not a split decision. Tommy Fury was just poking his jab out there the whole fight, knocking his head back. He rocked it with jabs, man. I think if Tommy Fury really if it was a 12-round fight, he would have gotten him out of there. No question. Now, I respect Jake Paul. He stood in there. He landed a couple good shots. He got a knockdown in the 8th. it was a knockdown, guys.
Yeah, it was.
But
It looked a little off, but
that ref sucked. He was getting way too involved in that whole fight. It was terrible. Now, I hate clinching with a passion. He should have just stopped it, took away points immediately, and then just not done anything about it. I couldn't stand him. He wanted to be the star of the show. Like, dude, they fought less than 10 times professionally. Just let it happen.
yeah.
But yeah, I gotta respect Jake Paul, but I think Tommy Fury absolutely wipes him in the rematch.
Yeah, I would hope so too.
No doubt in my mind. That's what happens when you fight a boxer.
Yeah.
Who would have thought? Um, that's really all I got, man. You got any final thoughts on this card before we bounce?
Just looking forward to it, man. Just
Oh,
really looking forward to it.
I am too. All right, so that'll do it for this episode. Jarrett and I will be back for a review of this card. But this is the biggest card. John Jones is back, people. Watch the press. Well, watch the press conference. Yeah, watch the ceremonial weigh-ins tonight. If you're in Vegas, go to them. Ceremonial weigh-ins are fun. I've been to the Columbus ones. But guys, thanks for tuning in. We'll catch you later.